Hey everyone, and welcome to our 90 subscribers / end of the year Q&A event. This really couldn't have been done without you guys, and I am so pleased that Rise of the Moon has been well received as it has. Going into the new year, we're going to have a new schedule. Granted, scheduling is the bane of TTRPGs, so it may be subject to change. But look for new things on the horizon. We're going to have speed paints. I'm going to do maybe some review videos of other cat projects such as Clouded Moon or Cattail's Wildwood Story. Maybe I'll stream some of that too. We'll see. But yeah, we'll have a great 2025, so be on the lookout for that. Nami, is there anything you want to say? Oh, she's too far away. All right. Well, enjoy this Q&A, and hopefully you guys will put up with these goofballs' antics. If it's a question for like everyone, I'm gonna answer for like I'm gonna ask it for like everyone. So Danny asks, beach episode when? Do you guys want to go to the beach?
I feel
Is there-
like
The Sundra place?
Yeah, the Sundrown place.
Is there
That's
a
the
beach
beach,
in
right?
Hotsfield?
You have to get through Hopsfield to go to the beach. Also, it's kind of shitty weather for the beach right now, isn't it?
Oh yeah, it is winter,
mean-
isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess it's winter, so we can't have Tinglethorn in the trunks. Sorry,
Well-
guys.
I was
Well,
hoping
hold
he
on.
would be in a banana hammock or like a little
oh my
tankini.
fucking god.
Geographically,
I'm bullying
where
him,
are
but I'm
we?
trying to be like low-key bullying him, and Shan just goes for the throat.
Geographically, so Rise of the Moon's territory is based off of the beauty of the western United States. So I've definitely based it off of Zion National Park, Lake Tahoe kind of area. Places that are hot, definitely hot in the summer, but also, and they get snow. So
So not Nevada.
yes, Nevada. Lake Tahoe is Nevada.
I feel
Listen,
like Go ahead.
Go ahead. I was just gonna say I have a geography degree, but it's not in physical geography.
I feel like if we did a beach episode, it would be good, and then the eldritch horror would appear from the water, and then things would
I
not be
think,
good.
I
It's
think
just
in
a whale.
each episode,
Kraken
Insect Watcher
appeared.
somehow is the only one to drown, somehow.
The Kraken appears and eats Tanglethorn.
I mean, yeah, let's have Tanglethorn go out fucking Captain Jack style. Let's do that. Yeah, I'm down for that.
Next question. I'm answering this since Saturn isn't here, so he can't interrupt me. Why bully Whiny? So,
You mean Pretzel?
yeah, why bully Pretzel? So, we're not gonna dead name Whiny anymore.
Okay, I think that was before the episode was released with the new name,
Yeah.
so we'll get to ask her some leniency.
Yeah, so, Whiny was this character. So, Saturn, aka Blackflight, had this Icewind Dale's campaign, and Whiny was this little aberration, and I think Saturn intended for us to be fucking terrorized by this aberration that wanted to eat flesh. But he's like the most crazy little guy voice, like, hello, I would like to consume your flesh. And so none of us were scared, and immediately we just all found this guy the best NPC ever. But also he was insanely bullyable because he was like a level 1 enemy, and we could all just like kill him immediately. Especially because I had Divine Smite. So, and I could smell him coming a mile away because he counts as a fiend, and I was playing a paladin. So, we had to convince him, we're gonna go into these mines and we're gonna kill a bunch of guys, and we'll bring the dead bodies back and throw them into his pit for flesh. And that was the only way we could convince him to like let us go. And the reason I kept Whiny smelly is because if you have not played Dungeons and Dragons, especially 5th edition, paladins can smell like celestials and fiends.
I don't think it's a smell.
It is. No,
No,
guys,
it is a smell.
I'll have to check again.
It smells.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Dungeon Master's Guide specifically defines divine sense as a smell. So like
Yeah.
fiends smell rank.
Like sulfur. I
Yeah.
think like celestials are kind of like, it might be like incense. I might be wrong about
Yeah,
that.
I think it's
been a minute.
incense. I always like considered it like very perfumey. Like you
Yeah.
walk.
Okay, it says evil smells, but good things smell like heavenly music. So yeah, evil smells.
Yeah,
Smells-
evil stinks. So Whiny, I had to keep Whiny stinky, and so that's why we bully Whiny.
Also,
It's just a long running joke.
Also, did you hear his voice?
Hello.
Like,
Hello, please bully me.
like, man,
I can't do the first. I need to practice it.
Also, dude came in and like was like, I pray flesh. Like, I'm sorry, but what would you do if like you had just gone on a journey with a group of people that you barely knew, and then that motherfucker turns up? Like, yeah, I'm gonna bully him. I don't want him coming near me.
Unity
I know they
formed
should've
through
killed him.
bullying a random NPC. That's what it was.
Yeah, it was.
Reference.
It was not us condoning bullying. If you see anybody
No.
being mean to a cat, please kill them immediately.
Yeah,
That's an
Yeah,
actual
he is. I
PSA.
condone bullying.
Oh my
meat
god.
grinder, meat
I
grinder.
referenced me and Tinglethorn. This was our first in-character introduction to this character.
Yeah.
So we weren't in the other campaign.
Actually, it was also Quinn's because Quinn joined Icewind Dales after we had met Whiny. I was begging for Saturn to bring Whiny back as
God.
like an 11th hour NPC to come save us.
Yeah, no. Instead, I got Droopy,
Yeah, you got Droopy. Droopy.
little baby goblin.
Yeah.
And Blip fucking hated for zero reason.
So the reason we bully Pretzel is basically just an inside joke for Shan and Saturn. But you
Yeah.
know,
Yeah,
Good exception.
it was mostly I was like,
Yeah.
how can I destroy these guys first session? Because like I don't want to kill anybody session 1. So I was like, oh, I will give them psychic damage.
I took it. Not the cat, as in Aestus. Me personally, I took psychic damage. I'm still recovering.
Speaking of you, the next question is for you and Tanglethorn.
Yay.
How angsty do you plan to make Tanglethorn be?
So, kind of weird. My response isn't just like, oh, I'm just going to make him edgy McEdgeface. A lot of my times when it comes to what I enjoy role playing, I usually enjoy characters who are either have like a whole arc ahead of them or have completed an arc and like they're kind of returning to it. So with Tangle, he's more the latter than the first because realistically, what his backstory was could have been an entire campaign on its own, really. Like, he could have, like, I could have played him going through that whole thing as a campaign character. So for me, it's about him kind of having to reopen those old wounds or, like, reset those bones that healed wrong. And that kind of stuff, sadly, isn't, like, pretty. It's quite messy, and I hope I haven't been too angsty with him. But
I think
know
everybody here is fucked up in some way, except
Yeah.
Slate Watcher, who is like
the normal one.
the normal.
There's still time.
so Watcher is
Still
like
time.
fresh out of med school. She hasn't been born in like the doctor house yet. She'll get there by the end of the campaign, probably.
But no, I think like how angsty do I plan on making him? I don't really have plans on him, like, you know, going like full like I don't talk to anyone, I'm a lone wolf. More so for me, like, it's just like I said, when a bone heals wrong, you have to break it, and that can lead to a lot of like sad moments. And I think he's gotten through a decent amount of that now, so we'll see where he ends up. I don't know yet.
I don't know where he's gonna end up either.
In a ditch.
There's a couple characters who are a very big question mark for me as a DM. And I'm gonna say right now, it's Tanglethorn and Moonfall.
Oh boy.
I have
Let's go.
worrying.
I have endings where I would like you guys to end up, but whether or not you're gonna completely throw me for a loop remains to be seen.
It could happen.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, no. Yeah, that's my answer. I'm not sure, but thank you very much for your question.
He also likes sword boys.
I love sword boys.
Yes, that's why I gave Tanglethorn a sword.
I legit asked Shan if a cat could have a sword, and she did the best she could because
Yeah.
she's a cat.
Next question is, I'm gonna have this be for all of us. This question is not from Whiny, and I think this is your friend, Danny, Aestus, and Athebe.
Oh, hi, Danny.
I just get this vibe. Can Whiny come back as a powerful ally that nobody can kill and gets all the bitches? Is that something you guys want to see in the campaign?
No.
I don't want to see Pretzel get the bitches. But I support whoever wants to see
Okay.
Pretzel get the bitches. I support your.
Here's what I say, right?
Mm-hmm.
Me and Tangle, I feel like at the end we came to respect Pretzel a bit because you know he did his best with like Julius and the rest of the alley cats. It's like respect. At the same time, it's like I can respect you from over here. Just you keep on your journey, bud. Good luck. Just over there.
Pretzel
That's
is a
my
lot
fault.
easier to handle now that he got a bath.
Yeah,
That's also true.
Pretzel's happy. He's living with 2 legs. He's getting fed premium cat. Well, actually, I don't know if it's premium cat food. He might. That dude will eat anything, but he's
Also-
he's definitely getting fed scraps off the table like cheese and stuff. Yep.
Oh my god.
If you think about it,
Mm-hmm.
the only bitches he can get would be Tanglethorn.
Can you not?
Because Slate Watcher and Moonfall are like, because of their roles, they can't, and then Brightfire and Blackflight are gay.
Hey, buddy. Hey, buddy.
The
And
bitch from,
actually,
like,
if you think about the alley cats, Vixie and Iris are also gay. And then Briar.
Maybe one of the skulls from her cats.
Yeah,
One of those two.
actually, yeah. I'm starting it now. Let's ship Pretzel and Craig. I think Pretzel and Craig could be
Pretzels.
Pretzel?
Fucking Christ.
Pretzel and Craig. I want to see fan art on my desk by 9 p.m. tomorrow.
I
Fan
forgot
art now of that.
Craig is just like a normal brown tabby cat. I did not give him like a special design.
Yeah, because he's called fucking Craig.
Well, are you saying Craig isn't a name, like a special name? Wow.
Yes, I'm saying Craig is not a special name. If you go into any place in the UK, you will find like 10 Craigs.
I'm
100%.
pretty sure his like rogue name was like Bloodwedding or something like that, but he went back to Craig.
Bro,
Fellcleave.
that's the worst
Him-
downgrade. Oh, what was your
But,
old
like,
name like?
Bloodwedding.
I was Bone Crusher. What's your name now? Well, I'm Craig now. It's like, whoa.
What's that voice? You sounded
That's-
like a Muppet.
That's what Craig for. It's just when I want to be Craig.
It's
So,
the
hi,
fucking
guys.
evil
I
Kermit
felt
with
like
a
the lady
bowl.
from Bar Coffee.
I'm sorry. It's just like Bloodwedding. Craig.
I mean, Death Wish didn't come up with a new name. Death Wish is Briar's best friend now.
Because Death Wish was smart and was like, Death Wish is a cool name.
But yeah, I don't think Pretzel's getting any bitches as in women cats because all of them are gay. A majority of the lady cats in this series are lesbians because I am a lesbian. But there are a couple bisexual girly pops here and there. Renfeather, bisexual queen, we stan her.
Woo!
Yeah.
Stan Renfeather, thank you for putting up with my cat's bullshit.
Renfeather is doing your deputy duties right now.
I know she is, and I have to figure out how I'm going to be like, hey. So,
I think you just let her kill you.
honestly, she could.
Oh, this is also from Danny. As in your guys' Danny, not Morningstar Danny.
Oh my god.
This is for Aestus. Are you
Hi,
ready
Danny.
for Tanglethorn to get gayer than ever before?
I mean, so this is actually an interesting point that I think I've mentioned a couple times, like, off camera and that, but, like, when I made this character, I had no intention of doing even anything slightly romantic with him. Like, I very much, like, this kind of archetype of, like, someone who, like, failed in a duty and ended up, like, becoming something else because of that is an archetype I really like playing, and as part of that, I very much, like, make them... In my head, they never really, like, have a romance end goal, and, like, the jokes of Tangle Riz keep coming up. It's a fun thing saying, like, is he gonna get gay? And I'm like, I don't know. Like, realistically, right now at this point, like, relationships aren't even on his mind. Like, he hasn't even considered that.
ThunderClan
like-
is too fucking busy.
Yeah. And especially now, given his deputy status, like, and what that could mean for the future, unless there is a big dramatic change in like anything, I see him staying single until the day he dies.
Damn. Can we
because-
pour one out for Wolfstar and Redfeather, who probably have some sort of bet because they're
Well,
twins?
Yeah, because the problem is, right, is like if he stays deputy, then that's still a lot of responsibility. So it's like any options become harder. And if he becomes leader, well, that means Wolfstar has to die, and that's like someone he's known since he was a kid. Like that's been someone who's run with him for like his entire life. And it's like, well, how's that going to make him feel? And then there's also Redfeather, and then there's also the stuff like there was some feelings with Julius that like he's gone over a lot of it and like justified it in his head where he was at with it. But even now looking back, it's like, oh, this is a lot, and also all the clans are killing each other, so I don't have time to deal with that. Throws it in the bag and just goes, time to go on.
Yeah,
So,
he's more responsible than Brightfire, who's like tucking her hair behind her ear, like hi, at like Blackflight.
Blackflight, you are running through my mind constantly.
I think it is worth noting, though, that Brightfire and Blackflight have definitely seen each other on the border a lot and have actually... Saturn and I have talked about it a little bit. They probably knew each other, like, in passing.
Yeah.
As
Before
Brightfire
the
screams
journey.
hello.
Yeah, Brightfire screams, hi!
And Blackflight just looks away.
Yeah.
I will
Everyone
say, like,
hated me.
because I don't know if this is ever actually going to come up in character. I will say, like, one thing I have considered and thought about with Julius is that realistically, like, if Julius had lived, Tangle would have been willing to pursue it, and if Julius ever brought it up, he basically would have given like him a response of, "My heart is ThunderClan. I cannot come back here. Like this will
Aw.
never work." I have thought about
that's
that.
cute. I think maybe if Julius had lived, like, I don't know, and he might have passed leadership to Iris and been like, hey, can I come to ThunderClan? Can you imagine Julius coming up to Wolfstar and being like, hey, I'm dating Tanglethorn now. Can I join your clan? And Wolfstar and Redfeather look at each other like, what?
Yeah, I don't know if Tangle would have want to be in that love. I don't even know what shape that would be at that point.
I will say on the clan like lore page, ThunderClan is the most accepting when it comes to outsiders. So
Yeah.
Question.
Yeah, go ahead.
Would his name have been Orange Julius?
hell yeah.
Oh my god.
For you, dear listeners, Pepsi just went up my nose because I took a drink when Quinn said that, and that hurt. Anyway, is Tanglethorn? Are you ready for him to get gayer? I don't know. He might. It depends on where we go and how it ends up. Right now, I can say for certain that I know what is like. The mission is on his mind primarily. I don't know what's going to happen when he gets back to ThunderClan and who's still going to be alive. So we'll see. We'll see.
Homies, I don't even know who's gonna be alive when you get back to ThunderClan.
I don't even know who's gonna be alive at the end of the session.
Yeah.
Actually, no. There is something in my notes. Like, do I pull the trigger on this now, or do I save it for later?
Do it.
And actually, that leads into I said I wasn't gonna answer any DM questions on with
us,
all of you guys here, but since we're still waiting for Blackflight to join us, Snazzy Sweetie asks, how do you pace a campaign so that players don't get crucial lore / other things too early? The trick is I make it up like it's not made up along the way. I actually have a very like set place. A couple set points that I want you guys to hit and go, and I actually do have I have a bunch of different endings, like it's like a fucking romance visual novel. I have a couple different route endings, essentially, for your guys' characters, depending on what you guys do, unless you throw me for a total loop, and which I'm gonna have to make shit up on the spot. But last session, I was not planning on revealing that there was a traitor among the clans, probably until you guys got to the Cavern of the Sisters. But since Saturn asked to check on Lost Heart rather than on Shadow Clan, I was like, you know what? Reveal it now. So, So it's kind of a balancing act. Because that happens, something you guys were gonna find out at the Cavern of the Sisters, I have decided you're not gonna find out until you get back to the clans.
That's fair. Yeah,
So-
no, I think part of like being a DM is like your players doing something and you having to scramble at the last minute. Like, well, that came out of nowhere. Time to try and build the bridge before they run off of it.
Yeah, exactly. Like, you can kind of see it in, I think it's episode 2, where, Saturn with Blackflight wanted to go eat Skull. You can see me going, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit. And like, it didn't record it because I did it in another window, but I was making Skull up as the conversation was happening because I did not think you guys would be getting to it that week. So I was going through a pit crew trying to find one that had the scars I wanted. Hey!
Hey,
You wake up?
I just woke up.
Guys, we called it.
We called
We
it.
did call it.
Fuck.
The only thing that's missing is the Signalis sound.
Yeah.
I'm on my phone.
What? I've got to go get that gift for this video teenager that just woke up from Saturday Night Live.
so true.
The distant fuck from
Oh, I'm so
Saturday.
sad that you don't have that recorded. You don't have Saturn distantly going fuck recorded.
I do. I heard it.
Yes.
We need that on a soundboard.
Okay, this is for everyone. So we'll go through one by one. If you were all instead using D&D 5e, what class or classes would your character be?
Oh, fuck.
Oh, that's a good one. I already know this answer because Blackflight already is a D&D character.
I
Yeah.
also know this answer because
Huh?
I've already thought about this at length.
I think I'll answer if Quinn, if you don't know. Moonfall has to be a warlock, considering Silver
Yeah.
Shade.
I was looking up like a jokey answer. I was gonna be like, I think Bard. But no, it's definitely gonna be like Warlock.
I think Moonfall Bard, like with like 1 level in Bard because of her warrior training, would actually slay a little bit.
Live a tragedy, Moonfall.
Yeah.
I was gonna say probably like what, like Undying Patron for Moon.
Yeah,
Moonfall?
for now, I'm gonna say
Ugh.
Silver Shade is Undying.
Ominous.
Cool.
Worrying.
I'm a genie cat, guys.
Well,
Love
Merry
Quinn's
Christmas
just
to me. I just
cool.
found out that my ghost girlfriend fucking dies in the future.
Hey, Undying's cool. Like,
Undying's
you get,
cool.
like-
There's a lot of other things she could be that are immortal, so like it's just
It makes your death saves easier.
So yes, Silver Shade would be an Undying. I would probably still give you Raise Dead, even though that doesn't come with that.
I think there's an implication. Oh, not Raise Dead. I'm at.
No, does not. Not for any resurrection. For
I was thinking of Control Dead or Animate Dead. I don't
Yeah.
remember which one it is.
Yeah.
Raise Dead is a cleric move, isn't it?
Yeah.
There's a few things that have raised dead nowadays.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like Tashes and everything. I'll just say Tangles real quick. Mastermind Rogue and Redemption Paladin. Probably
yeah.
I would have slept.
Probably started out Mastermind Rogue, and I think Redemption Paladin has been a thing since he started his journey with the Found 5. I think if you had to like properly put it down on a character, definitely more levels in Rogue though. Definitely more levels in Rogue. Paladin-
And the crowd is not surprised.
Damn, yeah, I wonder why. But yeah, no, that's Tangle.
For Sight Watcher, I'd say Druid. Most likely Circle of the Moon, possibly Circle of the Land. All that herbalism shit.
Yeah, makes total sense.
Yeah.
What would you think her most like favorite B shape would be?
I don't know. I did not give any thought to that. I will see.
I'm just curious if you had one in your head.
I guess some kind of fish or something.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, River Clan.
Just swims super well, you know.
Oh, and your large transformation could be like alligator, kind of like Pearl Spring.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
that would fuck. That's
Yeah, like definitely an alligator transformation there, but I don't know what her favorite would be.
That's fair.
And if I had to pick another class, because Artificer, I just spoiled it, shit. Because Druid was too obvious. I'd say Artificer.
Oh, Artificer.
I could speak.
Ooh.
I don't know which subclass. I literally just thought Alchemist. I literally
Yeah,
just thought of it though.
Oh
just,
yeah,
like,
because you make it like
'cause-
potions with the herbs and
Yeah.
shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Fun.
because she gets some credit for inventing stitches. She gets some girl boss credit for that.
Hell,
Also for going
it's
to
like
grad
what's your
school.
girl boss era?
Yeah, we love to see it.
Yeah, definitely a class that has healing.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Saturn, what's Blackflight?
Blackflight is a Gloomstalker Ranger.
Oh hell yeah.
What, no
It
rogue
did
at all?
No rogue at all.
Damn, I'm actually surprised by that.
Go fuck yourself.
See, I would have thought monk.
Brightfire is a dual class Path of the Beast Barbarian and Battlemaster Fighter.
That's
Ooh.
fun.
Yeah.
That's fucking fun. That's a really cool combo
The
as
most
well.
polite I would like to rage ever.
I'd like to rage.
May I rage, please?
Excuse me, Mr.
Permission to
DM.
go ape shit?
Permission to go ape shit.
Love
Ooh, this next question, I'm gonna abstain from answering.
that. Oh, love that.
For all the players, you have a serious mystery on your paws regarding who the traitor is. Do you compare notes after session or just blurt out ideas during the game?
I think it kind of depends.
Yeah.
Because-
Typically, I will message Astis and be like, did you notice this? And it's usually panicked.
Yeah.
And then we like,
Yeah.
we like work it out together.
We have a couple chats on the server we play this in where like we talk about stuff, but also sometimes like I know I've messaged other players mid-session. Like
Hi.
I do have, I have a Google Doc where I write down notes mostly in character for this kind of stuff, and sometimes I do notice some things and kind of send messages out. But yeah, I don't think we don't really like sit down a lot and compare notes and that. I don't think we do occasionally.
Not that I don't. At least maybe Saturn does it with someone that is not here secretly. But sometimes we scream at each other in DMs. But I don't think we really like have after session like, guys, I think Shen's planning on killing all of us. Because we all know she's planning on killing all of us. We don't need to talk about it in secret.
Yeah, I think I've gotten the mid-session DM from Astis before, and I'm just like, well, dude, I'm raw dogging this.
Yeah, I think a lot of the time though we do try to like kind of just go off what our characters would think and do, as opposed to being like, oh, here's a note or something. Like we kind of just gut punch it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
kind of have to go for what our characters know because I feel like half these cats are not sharing everything they know, like for valid reasons in some cases. Like Moonfall recently found out where her powers come from, and that's probably not something you want to just share off the top of your head, you know.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think it helps that we don't share a lot of things, that
Oh,
it
yeah.
will be a surprise later, where it's like,
100%.
Yeah, but like when there's something that like when there's something I know like from like being in the chat, well, like, for example, Moonfall and Tinglethorn were off doing their stuff. Slate Watcher doesn't know that, so it's not worth thinking on it too much. But like
Yeah.
if I'm sitting there during the session and like something comes to mind, I'm just like, oh shit, I should message. Usually Astis.
like I know
think I
this.
never messaged Astis. And she-
I know this scene where like we're all like, oh my god, Rattlestar's the traitor. I know like that was purely me blurting things out.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
in character too. It's also in character.
I
Yeah.
have to say, going back to that really quickly, I have never so quickly felt guilted into saying something like that as fucking Brightfire. Like once I was like, guys, are we sure it's not like Rattlestar? And then Brightfire be like, how could you? And I'm like, I take it back instantly. I was so wrong. I was
That
entirely
was also,
wrong.
that was
Tinglethorn
like the
was-
exact instance where I messaged Astis very panicked, like, I don't think it's Rattlestar, actually.
Yeah, so I have Queen going like, I don't think it's Rattlestar. And then I have Blackfire like, how
It's like in
and
all
Brightfire, like, how
caps.
could you do that? And I'm like, did I fuck up?
Absolutely
You
fucked
made
up.
Brightfire sad.
You made the
And
baby
that's-
girl cry, and now you
And
have
that's
to
why
pay.
Tanglethorn has to die. Anyway.
No, we have to see the Yowie. We have to get the Yowie.
Oh, he missed my response
He,
to that earlier
yeah,
question.
yeah, you missed the Yowie questions.
No, I mean I'll listen to the Yowie questions later.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get a message when he listens to it, like, how could you say that, Astis? Great.
Saturn killing me for answering all the whitey questions without it.
No. This better be put in. Whiny was a creation of my being. He was my creation originally.
He came forth from me.
I
This is
birthed
Saturn's
him.
true self.
Ooh,
Whiny.
okay.
I birthed him, and I should have left him on the street where he was born.
I should have left you on the street where I
In the
fell,
pit where we found.
but you didn't.
No. This question is for all of us. What inspired you to make your character?
I was 12.
Hell yeah.
I'm gonna just call myself out with this response.
Mhm.
So I am a big fan of Critical Role, specifically of Liam O'Brien and his characters Vax'il Darn and Caleb Widogast. They kind of
mild.
Vax kind of for like the roguish aspects and that, but Caleb specifically comes to mind with Tangle. It started off more Vax in my head, but it's become more Caleb as time's gone on. This idea of like
Smarts.
kind of, but more like you know
I don't
what
actually know Caleb.
what your actions, what your past actions mean to you in the future, and do they define you? And that's kind of become his central theme. So like, and also like kind of like other bits of media as well. Like weirdly enough, I think back a lot to I can make sure I get Matt Smith's portrayal as the 11th Doctor. When I think about Tangleporn, it's a very specific reach, but that kind of thing of like you know, trying to be like something you're maybe not, and kind of that eventually coming up on your face. I think a lot about like him basically being called out in one of the scenes, A Demon's Run, where like this woman is taunting him, and they're talking about like why he has so many rules, and he's like, today's not the day to find out why I have so many. And they just kind of come back to that with Tangleforn as being like, he's keeping it together, but when he's going to break, it is going to be messy.
And a bunch of hostages are going to die. Not that I
Exactly.
remember anything.
All I'm gonna say with regards to that is, oh my god, Pork Found in Kitchen. You're like Liam O'Brien? Pork Found in Kitchen.
Bro, I am just... I would have been a theatre kid growing up, and I know this for a fact, but there was no theatre near me, so that's just my life.
You're a theater kid in my heart. You were a theater kid in my heart, even though I didn't know you when you were in high
There's an
school.
alternate timeline where that egg has cracked and you are also a theater kid, is all I'm gonna say.
Are you talking about the egg cracking in a different sense?
We are moving on!
All right. So what else for Saturn, Quinn, and Atheme? What inspired you guys?
Okay, for me, usually when I do TTRPG characters, they're either fleeing from the horrors or like kind of, you know, fucked up themselves.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of wanted to do something like a bit more different. Like her trauma is more related to the current events. Like before starting, she spent the past 2 months basically force feeding her sister, because her sister is one of the lost, and like one of her brothers is also the lost, but not one that she's as close to as her sister. Like that's her favorite person in the world. She is
Oh no.
not doing so well.
Oh, no.
But like she has to hold it together, because if the Murchison cats start freaking out, then everyone else is going to freak out more. So that's not really great for the stress. And then she's
Wow.
leaving the territory for the first time. Besides for going to the Moonstone. And she's never really had to fight other cats before. She's always been aware of death. Like when a cat comes back injured, that's up to her to help get the cat back to health. When a cat's sick, she's not unfamiliar to death, but like fighting and being in the midst of the fighting, that's new.
Mm-hmm.
And like just in general, like River Clan is relatively well off compared to the other clans in terms of food, and like even security, like because they've got the whole little island thing. It's hard to make a sneak attack if you're not used to swimming. Just in general, a lot of this is new experiences started. Like, so this is my fun run of having a character that is traumatized by the events instead of what came before.
Mm-hmm.
That's
And so far, she's coping.
Mhm.
She's totally 100% mentally well under the surface, I promise.
Mhm.
Not nearly as bad as, you know, I guess everyone else in the
rest of the
party, besides
party?
for Brightfire. No offense, Stinglethorn, Blackflight, or Moonfall. You guys
He
are good
deserves it.
too.
I meant it when I said I made these characters when I was 12. Originally, Lost Heart and Blackfight were one character, because I was like, oh yeah, I obviously Lost Heart is a name you get like you can tell like a child made, and I've never changed it out of like pure love. And then at some point he ended up with a sister, and I was like, oh, I need a new name, just as cool as Lost Heart, and I went with Blackflight because I really liked the flight like suffix, and I don't know, they've stuck with me ever since. They've gone through multiple iterations where like one point where you like when you're like a teen and you're like, oh my god, this is so fucking cringe. I can't have Warrior Cats OCs. I gotta make them human.
And now we've
And
come
then
full circle.
and then I've come full circle. And there's a point where, again, I mentioned I made them D&D characters, which they were just like a badly ripped off Vex and Vex. But I don't know. I was like 11, and I thought I was the coolest person on the earth for having an OC named Lost Heart.
Okay, but like every 11-year-old that does the cringe things without cringing, that they're the most powerful person, like out of any of us. Like when you're 12 and you don't know what cringe is yet, you are,
Oh my God.
you are unstoppable.
You are
Be as
free.
cringe as you want to. Any kids
I
who are listening
know.
to this, I hope there are not kids listening to this. Oh God.
Yeah, listen.
Kids,
My first
kids,
Warriors
make
OC
make
was
your
Windtail.
cringiest OC ever. In fact, go for it.
I think the thing you have to realize when you're like a child and you're making OCs is like, at some point, they grow with you. Because like obviously, Blackflight was not like this when I was 11.
Yeah.
Definitely not. I had not developed mental illness yet.
Well,
Skill issue.
I think like when you look back and like, oh, this is cringe, and it's like, I don't know. A part of me is like, it's like when I read you that one art of like the original Lost Heart whose name was Flametail. It's a long story, but like, I don't know. I kind of look at it and it's like, wow, this is kind of what 11-year-old Saturn would have wanted, like a cool warrior cat. And I'm like, I don't know. It's like a little love letter to what you were like thinking, because like when you're a child and you like think things, it's like, oh, this is exactly how it is in my head. But like as you grow up, and it's like, maybe this isn't exactly how I thought it was when I was a kid, but I can change that. And it's like, this is kind of what like I wanted. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Where it's like, it's not perfect. I definitely don't remember what I wanted at 11 years old, but it's closer. Like I understand more of the world, and I'm like, this is kind of what I wanted. So I don't know. If you're like a kid and you're listening to this, I'm sorry, but first of all, but I don't know. Play around, have fun. Don't listen to people.
But also, you shouldn't be listening to this because we say fuck a lot. So,
We say worse than fuck.
I don't know. Look, when I was 11, I definitely watched like Chugga Conroy.
yeah, and I played Call of Duty, so don't worry.
I know.
Oh
I
yeah.
don't know how old I was.
watched
I think I was like
Smosh.
12 when I watched Happy Tree Friends.
Oh yeah. I watched Happy Tree Friends.
I definitely grew up on the uncensored internet.
Yeah,
era.
same. I think all of
Yeah.
us did.
We all did for sure.
Absolutely.
Quinn, what went into making Moonfall?
Making Moonfall. So a lot of the times whenever I'm designing characters, I am very much like a pantser. Like I don't plot out a whole lot of stuff. I just kind of fly by the seat of my pants.
Mm-hmm.
With Moonfall, especially in TTRPGs, or just like if I'm writing characters, a lot of the times I write characters or play characters that are yappers and very extroverted and always kind of like in the middle of things. So Moonfall, when I was coming up with her, I was like, I think it'd be really fun to not go for what I normally do and instead do the opposite. So I made somebody that was a little bit more reserved, someone that was quiet in a lot of things. She kind of takes after me, and that I don't really talk unless I'm being spoken to, just cause, or like unless I have something to say. Just because otherwise, I'm just a very active listener. So that's kind of it. There wasn't like, I feel sometimes we'll talk about characters that we like in other media that influenced the design of our current characters, and I can never get involved in that because I just never think about that stuff. So,
which is
Yeah,
so funny
That's
because
crazy.
you're like, Jay Feather is my least favorite warrior cat, and I think you've made lesbian Jay Feather.
Yeah. I know what you mean though. Like, I tend to like make a character, and then sometimes I might like look at other characters and be like, "Oh, that they have that in common." But like, usually when I make a character, it's just I'm raw dogging it. I'm not like drawing for other characters, but then I notice things later on. It's like, oh, okay. But yeah, kind of similar, just like make it from scratch. Let's see
I
where we
think-
fucking go.
I think one thing about TTRPG characters as well is that, like, I found as time goes on, like, you can spend a lot of time, like, planning them and everything, but, like, a lot of the time, the moment they hit that first session, they can be completely different to what you expect.
Yeah.
They
Yeah,
just become
absolutely.
A very different character, 100%.
Like,
So honestly, I think...
yeah.
okay.
It's like Rose Star, the Shadow Clan leader here, and Rose of Many Thorns, the Tabaxi, they are two completely different characters. Like, just entirely. Like, I opened my mouth and I realized when we were playing in the Icewind Dales campaign that we had a party of chaotic motherfuckers. I was the only lawful good there. And I was like, okay, somebody's gonna have to babysit. And so I was like, okay, I guess it's me, the paladin.
Amazing.
For Brightfire's inspiration. So Brightfire was a character I had on a Warrior Cats roleplay forum. She was actually originally ThunderClan. And her original story was there was a prophecy and it was warning about like a rogue that was going to come destroy the clans, but it would also, like, the prophecy dealt with fire, so like the new and inexperienced medicine cat at the time was like, oh my god, it's about Brightfire and she's gonna like give us so much power in the entire forest. And so Brightfire was like touted around as this like prophesized cat, and she was really good at fighting, so there was rumors of her being invincible. And the idea was it was going to turn out she's not invincible and she was going to die. This is very inspired by Pyronikos for Ruby. And I've always wanted to reuse her, but I really wanted to go for a different angle because as much as I like that it was a false prophecy, like, I did not want like there to be a prophecy about her when I was coming up with NPCs for Rise of the Moon. I was like, I want her to be more of a character that has more agency. So like, I was like, oh, she can like be like, I volunteer, like fucking Katniss, to come do this. And other inspiration has trickled in over time. I've realized there's like a huge amount of similarities between Adora and Catra and Blackflight. But hilariously, Brightfire is the one that struggles essentially with a regime more than Blackflight, and especially the propaganda with how hard Brightfire will defend some of SkyClan's,
Rattlestar.
hubris, their ambition, Rattlestar, and also kind of like, SkyClan has had a bad hand dealt to them, like, because Skystar lost the first great battle. So, like, they've grown up all thinking, like, oh, we don't deserve to be here, we deserve more. So, that is very much ingrained in her. So, like, I looked at all your guys' characters and I'm like, oh, she has to be the happy jolly one. None of you motherfuckers are happy. So I definitely made her as kind of like the foil of mine, and she was originally planned to die, but I have kind of decided against that as the campaign's gone on. Now, if she dies because I roll bad, that's on me, but like, it wasn't planned at least anymore.
Yay.
We still got a couple more questions. To Saturn from Morningstar, aka Danny. What challenges do you face playing a combative and abrasive character? Do you have any suggestions on how to play such a character?
Develop BPD immediately.
Saturn.
Incredible.
Look. Anyways, but for real, I think part of what making Blacklight so combative is very interesting is we're all from different clans, so like obviously there's going to be
Tension.
yeah, there's gonna be tension, and then even more so when you have someone who's like, I think Shadow Clan's actually really cool and better than all of you, kind of deal. But I don't want to say it.
Yeah, Blacklight's out here like, I hate Shadow Clan, but also they're all better than you fuckers.
I
Like,
hate Shadow Clan, but also whatever the fuck you guys have going on is way worse. I think.
I mean, oh, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Oh, no, you're right. You used your question. Go ahead, Bo.
I think also what helps with like making a character so combative is like the group you're in, kind of.
Yeah.
Like I don't like to admit it, but I have a running trend of playing very combative and like abrasive characters who like
No, never.
because I also love the dynamic of like uncomfortably rubbing shoulders with people, because I think combat is very fun, where it's like it's not too malicious sometimes. It's not too malicious sometimes, but it's like it makes for an interesting character story when like these two characters who don't like each other, like say Tangle and Blacklight, when they sit down and like are forced to talk to each other, where it's like you can feel in the air that they'd rather be doing anything else, kind of situation.
Yeah,
But when you put them in those situations, it's very interesting.
I think also part of it as well is like it's just once again it's that whole outline of like, hey, this is my character doing this, not me. Like we're friends outside of the game.
Yeah, that's a big thing that like all of us get, and like we know each other. We knew each other before the campaign. So we know that Saturn is a chaotic fuck on his own, but also we know that Saturn and Blacklight are different people. So like when Blacklight says, "Hey, fuck off," that's not Saturn saying it.
yeah.
No.
Yeah.
I think the only problem person's Aestus, who like messages me with a bunch of slurs.
Oh my god!
I want this to be known. I do not do that.
I'll cut the audio out.
Hold on. Let it be known I am Native American, and Asus messages me at least once a day saying how he's going to take my land.
Just give it American. Come on.
Actually, that has a question for me with this is my question for Quinn. Warrior Cats always does have a lot of history of taking inspiration, maybe a little too much, especially with the term medicine cat, from indigenous peoples. How do you want to see, once we get back to the clans, that being sort of like reclaimed? I know you and I have talked about Wind Clan having feathers for like specific purposes and stuff like that, but how do you feel about all that?
Oh man. I feel like there's not really one solid solution when it comes to stuff like that. I think, man, I don't know if I have a good answer for this. I think like kind of what you were doing, Shan, where you're being very mindful, you're doing a lot of research, you're coming to me, you're asking like, hey, how does this feel? How does, do you like this? Do you not like this? I just think there's a lot of like mindfulness that kind of goes in play with stuff like that, or like when you're working with any culture.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Moonfall's gonna get her feathers soon, so.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. Oh, this goes for everyone. This is also from Morningstar, aka Danny. This goes for everyone. What do you want when this is all over? When you come back home to the clans, will you all stop talking to one another?
St. Watcher is definitely seeking out these bitches, and Singleton, I guess, at meetings, at the gatherings. Like, hey, how are you? Like, maybe not every moon, but like, she's keeping in touch with her friends. Even Blacklight. Sorry, Blacklight, you're not escaping. I guess you could just have to go to the gatherings, but you're not escaping.
You gotta cross that border to get there.
She's gonna come find you whenever she visits Shadowclan to visit the Moonstones, if she has to, just to say hi. Sorry, Blacklight.
Rose Star specifically puts Blacklight on Moonstone guard duty just so that.
Hey, Blacklight!
Yeah.
The honest answer is because of what happened last session is I don't know when I go back to ThunderClan if I'm just going to be a deputy or something much worse is going to have happened. So the genuine answer is I don't know yet.
Yeah, I mean, we really don't know if there are going to be clans to return to.
Yeah. I mean,
Hypothetically,
right now,
if there are. Let's put that
oh,
out there.
oh,
Okay.
terrifying. So like Tangle as he is right now that he's the deputy, like obviously he cares about the rest of these cats as well, but I think it's definitely going to be a thing of like when he goes back, ThunderClan is still his home, and that's never changed. I think more so now than ever he is realizing like I shouldn't be back there, we need to deal with this as quickly as possible. So, you know, I definitely I don't think he would actively go seeking out the other cats again, but like when he comes across them, it will definitely be like a very kind, very, very warm response. But it also like, you know, that also depends on like what's happening in that moment, because, you know, as we've seen, these clans can turn against each other, and I think there is a part of him that's already starting to like come to terms with the fact that one day he might have to fight them, these other cats, just because of the nature of the clans right now. He doesn't like that. He hates that. Just like he hates a lot of the warrior code, to be quite honest, but he's not told anyone that yet. He's keeping that to himself.
Look, at least he won't have to fight Slate Watcher, most likely.
Yeah, that's true.
Because she's a medicine cat. Oh, healer. Fuck. I'm sorry.
We're all getting used to the
Being
change.
kid.
Old habits
Yeah.
die hard.
Yeah.
Muscle
Brightfire, I think it really depends on what state the Sky Clan is in when she returns, because she's always been kind of border friendly. That said, I think you will make it very difficult. I think it will be difficult for her to not kind of seek out Blackflight at the border. I don't know. Could we have another cross-clan romance on our hands?
The cycle continues. The
Yeah.
cycle fucking continues. It's like teen pregnancy.
Jesus Christ.
Right.
I'm not kidding. It's
Controversial
like
statements
it's like
here
a
in the
cycle,
Q&A.
dude.
No, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. It is a cycle that is perpetuated by the warrior code. It's like, damn, it's like, man.
Oh, I
I
meant
think
teen
we-
pregnancy.
Oh, I was talking about warrior code because I think that needs to be updated. But anyway,
Another one to all from Dust Clover's #1 fan. What is your favorite roleplay scene you did? How do you think it affected your character lore and the story overall?
Oh, that's a hard one. I have a lot.
that's really hard.
I know
Yeah.
the one that I think of like the most right now is the scene from a couple sessions ago where it was Tanglethorn and Moonfall, and they were like dealing with the like memory apparitions or whatever,
That was really good.
and
That was a really
being
good
able
one.
to show Moonfall as this like she'd been so stoic and like acting tough for so long, but being able to show her in a more like weak and vulnerable state and showing that she's just as scared as everybody else, I think was really, really fun. Yeah, that's one I think about the most right now.
I think, for me personally, everything of the sewers. Just because I feel like so much of that was just such a build-up and like eventual tumbling down of everything that happened up to that point. I think, you know, you had like everything with Belle and like all these individual character moments. You had everything with Lost Heart, and like, you know, then like the individual fights and everything, and then like all that culminating in this just like we won, but it's like, did we? Like, I don't feel like we won. And then that final scene there, like, you know, as much as I like to pretend that that was entirely just me playing the character, it's like in that moment I was just devastated, and like it was weirdly cathartic as well. And I just remember like sitting back after that session ended and just being like, oh, like in a good way, because as someone who loves like the narrative in TTRPGs, that whole like later half of that session was just perfect for me. I adored every moment of it.
Thank you. The sewer, I had plotted that out for weeks.
You cooked, and everyone,
You
everyone
could.
That was
It was
awesome.
delicious.
everyone playing just like played their characters so well, and it was just so much fun being in that state and bouncing off everyone. It was just really, really good.
I think my favorite so far was the Silver Shade reveal to Moonfall about where her powers come from. I really love getting able to play Silver Shade. She's my favorite NPC.
Can you like say it in like a
Don't
less
kill her.
ominous voice, please?
That's what I
Making
was
me scared.
thinking.
I'm trying to word this very carefully so I don't accidentally say anything else, but I think the mystery of that scene, and also like Silver Shade being like, this power isn't because you're evil, it's because there's this hole in StarClan that nobody's ever been able to like repair. Yeah. So I really like playing her.
Oh god, I'm trying to think of what scene I really like for Blackflight, and it's hard because I'm a role player, so I will put the plot above everything else.
Mm-hmm.
You have so many good Blackflight scenes, I'm not gonna
I
lie.
There's a lot
know.
of good Blackflight, especially
Yeah.
first book was definitely a lot of good Blackflight moments.
Well, and your conversation last session with Brightfire,
Mhm.
Oh,
like right when we left the tree, that
Oh.
was fucking amazing.
brutal.
I think I might be recency bias, but I think my favorite right now is when Blackflight went to go talk to the Saber Cat alone.
That rocked.
Yeah.
That rocked. That was fucking sick. Yeah.
Because I think that's like a pivotal moment where Blackflight was like, how deeply do I want to cling to the past and everything I am?
Blackflight makes me sad. How about you, Fimo?
I'm thinking like either the stuff in the sewers, specifically the stuff with Belle, because like
Mm-hmm.
Slate Watchers, this River Clan is like about the diplomacy and like, you know, they kind of have the Dan Trevine position where they can be like, they're not as pressed as someone like Sky Clan. So like diplomacy usually works, and like she wants to believe that cats are generally good cats, you know, like everyone has good in them as long as we work together and like we try to be as reasonably honest, like that will be for the best of everyone. And then Belle just like fucking goes, no, I fucking hate you for no fucking reason, and she wasn't really sure how to deal with that. My other moment would be probably like at the start of book 2, her and Tanglethorn talking, and just like he kind of scared the shit out of her, to put it mildly, a little bit towards the end of book 1. So just like having that moment to like talk and just be like, okay, yes, he realizes he kind of did a few problematic things, but not gonna cancel them yet though. Just that moment of connection of just like, okay, yeah, I can still trust this guy to be relatively reasonable as long as he's not killing a cat at the moment. That was good for her, like just
Slate Watcher
getting that
VC.
up a little bit.
I'm due to call out post on my twitter.com.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, that was just a good. That would be my moment with another character so
That was
far.
fun interaction. That was
Another
really fun.
player.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This one is also for Aestus. This is also from Desk Clover's #1 fan. So this was right after episode 7 release, so some of this is covered in episode 7.
Fun.
When will Tanglethorn finally stop blaming himself and express his former warrior name for once? Will he finally decide to ask Wolfstar if he can take his former role of deputy? Well, he didn't have to ask.
He didn't have to ask.
It just kind of fucking happened. Thanks, Scorpion Fang. Like,
Thanks, Scorpion Fang, you dickhead. So that second part, like, he is still Tanglethorn right now. I have
For
already
now.
for now. I think like, me and Shannon had a little bit of a conversation about like what that might mean in the future, specifically because, you know, obviously like being a deputy now, it means he's now once again next in line to take over the clan if anything happens to Wolfstar. But that first part, when is he going to forgive himself? I don't know. I think something that comes with that kind of like place of being is like when like terrible things happen, it can be quite easy to blame yourself for them. Even if like realistically you couldn't have done anything. In Tangle's case, like he does believe there was a lot he could have done differently, and I think that leads to him with a lot of self-loathing. I don't know if and when he's going to change his mind on that. I think he has done a little bit of healing, but even now I can sit there and say, like, realistically, like, if Wolf did die and he had to be put in as leader, I don't think he would handle it. I don't think he could. So, we'll see. I'd love for him at the end of this to be able to forgive himself, but like that first episode where he saw Timberpaw again, like it like being in that character, it felt like, you know, seeing the greatest Shane you've ever done walk in front of you and be like, hey, I'm in here now and you can't look away. So we'll see what happens. I'd love for him to forgive himself though. That'd be really nice.
This one is to me from Dusk Clover's #1 fan. And this is the one that you guys were all like, how dare you, about how will Brightfire's possible death affect the story? Is the snake that was on Brightfire in the trailer a reference to how she feels like she is under her father's control? Do you think Rattlestar is a possible villain of the story? Oh, so much that
I think he's a grumpy old man, and we always have to kill grumpy old men. Sorry.
Yeah. So Rattlestar, you guys haven't seen a lot of him yet. Once you get back, you will. If any, I am gonna be putting. We have family trees now. That are gonna go in the video description, and you can see that Rattlestar he's a little more sentimental than he lets on. His mother was named Bright Sky, and clearly we have Brightfire, so he named his daughter after his mom. But so he's kind of like he's a very multifaceted old man. He definitely wants power. He craves to be out of the gorge.
He's giving Tumblr sexy man. Oh my god, I understand now. I understand.
If I had to compare him to someone from another piece of media, he is very similar to Silco from Arcane.
Tumblr sexy man.
Oh, yeah. I can see that.
Yeah.
100%. Yeah.
So is he a villain? Really depends on your perspective.
Is there anything as undoing as a daughter hates weird now?
Yeah.
It's out of my brain forever.
Yeah. Is the snake down Brightfire reference to feel like how she is under her father's control? Yes. Like, I really want to show with Brightfire that growth isn't linear. She's gonna have these character moments where she's like, I don't need my father's approval. But I think if he appeared right now and was like, Brightfire, I need you to come back and be the premier #1 warrior of SkyClan, and I will lift you up as such, I think she would take the offer.
Hello, Brightfire, it's me, the devil from the Bible.
Like, literally, like, I want you to do sin. Like, she'd be like, yes, let's go. Like,
I love doing sin.
So yes, she's kind of like in her father's thrall. There's some art that I've been working on with, like, particularly our 3 warrior characters, because all of them are kind of primed to be in positions of leadership, and I have been drawing halos behind their heads. Blackflights has rose petals, obviously for Rosestar, because she's Rosestar's Nepo baby. Tanglethorn's halo is broken, and Brightfire's is actually an Ouroboros. So, yeah. So ominous as fuck. How will her death affect the story? I've shared screenshots. I'll probably put them up on the video. But all these guys
affect the story because we're all gonna kill you if she dies.
Yeah,
sorry.
all these guys were like, I will come find you and kill you in real life.
I don't have to come find you. I know where you live. It's a 4-hour drive, and I'm taking someone with me.
I cannot describe how much we love Brightfire. If she dies, we will all die.
Look, hear me out. I will say, if Brightfire dies, the Yuri could go insane.
It would be crazy, Yuri. Can you imagine Blackstar getting a life for love from Brightfire?
Oh my fucking
We're not discussing this. We're not manifesting this.
You can't steal my idea.
For Wolfstar and Tanglethorn. I actually have what you put text-wise on that in mind. I wrote a slightly different version of it, but it is a reference to your art piece, should it ever come to it.
That's fucking terrifying.
I-
I turned that in for a college assignment, by the way.
How do you think I feel?
I will say, for a couple characters, I have started to work on, should you become a leader during the course of this roleplay,
man.
who is going to give you lives?
I'm gonna throw up.
I'm gonna throw up.
I don't like to just break away from that question very quickly and just say, like, as someone who came into this campaign being like, yeah, he was a deputy, like, you know, but he doesn't want to do that anymore. But then Shan, that last session, to have that whole moment with him seeing that, I cannot describe to you. Like, there was a point after that where, like, I realized my body was just adrenaline. Like, my hands started shaking, and I was like, whoa, okay, I need to stop for a second. Like, I proper, like, was wired for a second.
Face your destiny!
No!
Your
Fuck fate.
destiny.
Fuck fate.
And we're gonna end on a funny question. This one is for me, but also you guys can chime in with how I draw Kat's eyelashes if you think it's funny. This one is from Morningstar/Danny. Brightfire, drop your makeup tutorial now.
For real though, she'd be slaying. What the
It's part of it. She's born with it because she has the one orange patch on her brown side, which does look like eyeshadow.
fuck? Oh, true, yeah.
But her long eyelashes, my girl, every long rest, you guys don't see it, but she's taken some mud and she's like curling her eyelashes.
Jesus
oh my
Christ.
God.
That's
Oh, I
fucking
love that.
hilarious.
That's fantastic.
Hi, Fem Brightstar? Question mark.
Yeah, hi Fem Brightfire. Oh, you called her Bright Star. Oh my God,
Oh
manifesting.
no. Oh no.
I gotta
Uh-oh.
go now. I'm going back to sleep, actually.
All
We're
right,
manifesting
that's
it
all
now.
of our questions.
Thank you for the questions, everyone.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank
See
you.
you
We
again
will
for
continue
201.
bullying Tetzel. I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
He is my
Yeah.
creation. I birthed him, and I may treat him as I will.
Don't need to keep saying
Birthed
birth,
him?
bro.
Wow.
You do not need to keep saying birthed.
I
That is-
birthed him.
Oh god.